Left untouched for 117 years in the vast desert, a human mechanic took the risk to activate it. Jack Morrison wiped the sweat from his forehead as he looked across the vast desert. The sand stretched endlessly in all directions, golden and hot under the twin suns. He had traveled many kilometers from the nearest human settlement, drawn by rumors of a strange, ancient shape buried under the dunes. Most people thought the desert was empty, dangerous, and useless. But Jack had always been curious. He liked machines, broken things, and old technology. And something about this desert felt different. Something was waiting. He tightened the straps of his tool belt and scanned the horizon. A glint of metal caught his eye. At first, it looked like a pile of scrap, half buried in sand. As he got closer, the shape became clearer. It was huge, enormous, and unlike anything Jack had ever seen. The metal was dark, almost black, with sharp angles and smooth curves that seemed too precise for human hands. It was a starship, lying untouched for over 100 years, waiting for someone to find it. Jack crouched near the edge of the craft and ran his fingers along the metal. It was cold under the desert sun, but the surface was strangely smooth. He brushed away layers of sand and dust, revealing strange symbols etched into the hull. He had seen alien ruins before, but this was different. This ship was alive in a way. Not moving, not breathing, but it gave a sense of presence, like it was watching him. "Jack, are you sure about this?" a voice called behind him. Lily Harper stepped into the clearing, shielding her eyes from the sun. She was shorter than Jack, with bright green eyes and careful movements. She always worried too much, Jack thought, but he liked that about her. She was smart, practical, and good with engineering problems, which balanced his reckless curiosity. "I'm sure," Jack said, brushing more sand off the edge of the hull. "Look at it, Lily. It's amazing. This ship. No one has touched it for 117 years. It's a chance to see something humans weren't supposed to find yet." Lily frowned and approached more carefully. "Or it's a chance to get ourselves killed."
We don't know what kind of technology this is. We don't know if it's safe.
"You can't just touch it and hope for the best." Jack smiled. "That's the fun part. That's the whole point. If it was safe, someone would have already explored it. We're the first humans to see this up close in over a century." Lily shook her head, but didn't argue. She knew better than to stop Jack once his mind was set. "Just be careful. I'll help. But if something goes wrong, we leave. No hero stuff. Deal." He began inspecting the hull, searching for an entrance. The ship had no visible doors at first, only panels and seams in the metal. Some parts were fused with sand, rusted, or corroded. He tapped on a few sections with a small hammer, listening for hollow spots. One area gave a low, resonant sound. Jack smiled. "This was it," here he said. "This panel might open, help me clear the sand." Together, Jack and Lily worked, brushing and digging for hours. The desert sun beat down on them, but neither complained. When they finally cleared the last layer of sand, the panel shimmered under their hands. Strange lines glowed faintly along its edges, like the ship recognized their touch. Jack's heart raced. "It's responding," he whispered. "I don't think it's just metal anymore."
"It feels alive." "Alive?" Lily repeated, skeptical.
"It's a machine, Jack. Machines don't feel alive. Maybe this one does," he said, pressing his palm against the glowing surface. The panel vibrated slightly under his fingers. A low hum began to grow from inside the ship. Lily stepped back, eyes wide. "Jack, What did you do? I just touched it, that's all. The hum grew louder. Then, slowly, the panels slid open, revealing a dark corridor inside. A rush of cold air escaped, even though the desert outside was hot. The air smelled old, metallic, and faintly sweet. Jack's eyes widened. He had expected dust, maybe decay. Instead, the inside of the ship was pristine, untouched, almost like it was sleeping, waiting for someone to wake it. Lily took a cautious step inside, holding her toolkit like a shield. It's clean. How is this possible? Jack grinned. I don't know, but it's ours to explore now. The corridor was long and narrow, lined with glowing panels that seemed to pulse with energy. The walls were smooth, black, and curved in ways that made the humans' heads tilt as they walked. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the floor, guiding them deeper into the ship. Jack ran his fingers along one symbol, and the light brightened, as if responding to him.
See? Jack said. It wants us here.
Or it wants to trap us. Don't forget, Jack, this could be dangerous.
We don't know what we're dealing with. Jack nodded.
I know, but sometimes to find something amazing, you have to take a risk. They reached a large chamber filled with strange machines. Some looked like engines, others like control panels, but nothing was familiar. In the center was a pedestal, with a small circular device glowing softly. Jack approached it, and the glow reacted, brightening under his hand. Look at this, he said. I think this is the ship's main interface. If we can figure this out? Lily frowned.
If we can figure it out, Jack, this could be a weapon.
Or a trap. Maybe the ship doesn't want anyone to touch it. Jack knelt and examined the interface. Symbols moved across the surface, rearranging themselves like a puzzle. He realized that the ship wasn't using words. Not like humans. It was using images, patterns, and symbols that responded to thought and touch. Slowly, carefully, he started to experiment, pressing and tracing the symbols. The pedestal hummed and light shifted across the room. Lily watched closely. It's reacting to you. How do you know what to do? I'm just trying things. It feels natural somehow, like my hands know more than my brain. Hours passed as Jack explored the ship's controls. Lily helped where she could, connecting tools and reading energy outputs. Together, they managed to activate a small part of the ship's systems. Lights turned on along the walls, and a holographic map projected above the pedestal. Stars, planets, and strange shapes appeared, unknown to human astronomers. Jack gasped. This ship? It's not just old. It's advanced, way beyond anything humans have built. Lily stared at the map. It's beautiful, but we should be careful. Who knows what else is inside?
Jack nodded. I know.
But this is what we came for, Lily. Something humans haven't touched for over 100 years. We have a chance to see history. Or the future. Suddenly, a low vibration ran through the floor. The pedestal pulsed, and the symbols shifted faster, almost like the ship was trying to communicate. Jack leaned closer, touching the interface. The room filled with light, and a faint voice echoed in their minds, not in words, but in images and emotions. Lily froze. Jack?
I think it's talking. I don't understand it, but it's
Alive. It wants to communicate. Jack's heart pounded. It's okay. We can figure this out. Humans are good at this. We can understand patterns, emotions, logic. That's what makes us special. The ship's glow dimmed, as if waiting for them to respond. Jack and Lily exchanged a glance. Neither of them said a word, but both understood. They were about to wake something that had slept for 117 years. Something powerful, something alien, and something that recognized humans in a way no other species had. Jack took a deep breath and pressed his hands on the pedestal, following the patterns as they shifted under his fingers. Light spread through the room and the hum grew louder. Lily stood by his side, steady, her toolkit ready but her mind open. Together they became the link between human curiosity and the long-forgotten alien ship. Outside, the desert wind blew, shifting sand over the sleeping dunes. No one in the colony knew what had happened. No one had seen the light or heard the hum. But far away, under the hot sun, a human mechanic and his friend had begun something extraordinary. They had taken the first step toward awakening a starship that had waited for over a century. Jack smiled at Lily. "Ready?" Lily nodded, her eyes wide with fear and excitement. "Ready?" With that, they plunged deeper into the ship, hand in hand, as the hum grew louder and the lights brighter. They were no longer just explorers. They were the first humans in 117 years to awaken a giant from the sands, and whatever waited inside the ship, it was about to learn what humans could do. The desert sun began to set, painting the sand in shades of orange and red, but the glow from the ship lit the night like a second sunrise. The adventure had just begun. The glow from the alien ship filled the chamber, casting strange shadows on the walls. Jack Morrison and Lily Harper moved carefully through the corridors, their footsteps echoing on smooth metal floors. Every panel they touched reacted, lights shifting and symbols moving as if the ship was alive. Jack could feel it, a strange connection, almost like the ship understood him. "It's responding to our touch," he said, his voice low. "Not like a machine, more like it wants us here." Lily frowned. "Or it wants to test us." "Don't forget, Jack, we have no idea what this ship can do. One wrong move, and it could be dangerous. Then we'll be careful, step by step. That's all we can do." They reached a large room filled with alien machinery. Towers of metal hummed quietly, pipes and wires running in patterns no human engineer had seen before. In the center of the room was a circular platform, glowing faintly. Symbols floated above it in the air, moving slowly as if alive. Jack approached the platform and reached out. The symbols brightened under his touch. "Look at this," he said. "It's like a control center. If we can figure out how it works, we could activate the ship." Lily stepped closer, examining the symbols. "I don't even recognize these patterns. They're not numbers or letters. Maybe it's some kind of logic system?" Jack nodded. "Yes, but it's different. It's almost like it understands how humans think." He started experimenting, touching one symbol at a time. The lights on the platform changed, rearranging themselves into new patterns. Slowly, a holographic map appeared above the platform. Stars, planets, and strange shapes swirled in space, connected by glowing lines. Lily gasped. "Jack, this ship knows about the galaxy. It can show us planets we've never seen." Jack's eyes shone with excitement. "It's incredible. This ship, it's advanced, way beyond what humans have built." The platform pulsed, and the symbols moved faster, almost like the ship was trying to communicate. Jack leaned closer, pressing his hands against the glowing symbols. Light spread through the room, forming images in the air. They were not words but pictures, flashes of stars, machines, and strange creatures. Lily stepped back, overwhelmed. I think it's alive. It wants to talk to us. But how do we respond? Jack smiled. We don't have words for it. But humans are good at patterns, at understanding meaning without language. We can do this. We just need to pay attention.
For hours, Jack worked with the platform, testing combinations, following instincts. The ship reacted to his movements, lights, and symbols changing with every touch.
Lily watched, helping where she could, recording energy readings and monitoring systems. Slowly, the ship's hum changed, growing warmer, softer, like it was calming. Finally, a door at the far end of the room opened. Beyond it, a larger chamber waited, filled with more machines and a long platform that looked like a cockpit. Jack's heart raced. "This is it," he whispered. "This must be the pilot area. The control room. It looks huge. Do you think it's safe?" Jack nodded. "We'll find out, but I think the ship trusts us now." They entered the cockpit. The floor was lined with glowing panels, levers, and touch-sensitive controls. Screens floated in the air, showing alien symbols and maps of star systems. Jack ran his hand over a console. The symbols shifted and settled into patterns that made sense to him. "Look at this," he said. "It's like the ship is teaching us how to use it. It recognizes humans as problem solvers. It adapts to us." Lily studied the displays. If that's true, it might respond differently to others. Maybe only humans can operate it fully. Jack smiled. "Exactly. That's why we're here. Humans can take risks, think creatively, and solve problems. That's what makes us special. Maybe this ship was waiting for that." He touched another panel, and suddenly the ship hummed louder. The cockpit vibrated, lights spreading through the floor and walls. Images appeared in the air, flashes of planets, star systems, and strange alien technology. It was like the ship was showing them its history.
Lily watched closely. It's incredible.
"This ship has seen the galaxy. It's... ancient." Jack nodded. "And now it's sharing that knowledge with us. We just have to understand it." They spent the next several hours exploring the ship's systems. Jack discovered that the engines could generate enormous energy, enough to travel faster than any human ship. Lily found panels that seemed to control shields and defense systems. Every system reacted to their touch, adapting and learning from their actions. "I think the ship wants us to be its pilots," Jack said, excitement in his voice. "It trusts humans to make decisions, to use it carefully."
I think you're right. But we have to be careful.
If someone else finds this ship, they might not be so careful. They could try to take it by force. Jack frowned. "Yes, we need to secure it. But for now, let's focus on understanding it. If we can control it safely, we can protect it from anyone who wants to misuse it." Suddenly, a panel flickered and showed a new symbol, different from all the others. Jack reached out. The symbol glowed brightly and expanded, forming a large holographic screen in front of them. On it, images of alien creatures appeared, tall, thin beings with long limbs and glowing eyes. They moved across alien landscapes, operating technology far advanced than humans. Lily whispered, "These must be the creators of the ship. They were amazing. Why would they leave it here?" Jack studied the images. Maybe they designed it to wait, to find someone like us, someone capable of understanding it without destroying it. The cockpit hummed again, and the ship vibrated slightly, as if acknowledging Jack's thought. It projected another set of images, showing star maps, weapon systems, and energy flows. Jack realized the ship was teaching them how to operate it. "This is more than just a ship," Jack said, awe in his voice.
It's a library, a tool, and a weapon all in one. And it's letting us learn step by step.
Lily nodded slowly. "We have to be careful."
The wrong move could trigger its defenses, or someone could come here and try to take it. "I know, but this is the chance of a lifetime to understand something humans have never touched, to show that we can handle power responsibly." Hours passed, and the sun outside began to set. The desert turned red and orange, but inside the ship, the light glowed steady, guiding them. Jack and Lily worked together, learning to manipulate the ship's systems. Each symbol, each touch, each pattern brought new understanding. They realized that the ship was not just reacting, it was testing them. "I think it wants to see how we think," Jack said. "It's giving us challenges, small ones at first. But soon, it might test us in bigger ways. We have to be ready. If someone else comes, we need to protect ourselves and the ship. And if it tests us, we need to pass." Jack smiled. "That's what humans do best. We take risks, solve problems, and adapt. That's why we're still here, 117 years after this ship was left untouched. And that's why we can operate it." They continued exploring, moving deeper into the ship. Jack found panels that controlled gravity, propulsion, and energy distribution. Lily discovered compartments filled with strange tools and devices, some of which reacted to human touch. Together, they began to understand the ship, learning how it combined technology and intelligence in ways humans had never imagined. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. A low vibration ran through the floor, and a soft alarm sounded. Jack looked at the displays. "Something's happening. The ship."
"It's responding to us more strongly." Lily's eyes widened.
"Do you think it's a warning or something else?"
"I don't know, but we're ready. We've learned a lot. We just have to stay focused and careful."
The vibration stopped, and the ship settled into a calm hum. The cockpit glowed softly, the symbols floating in perfect patterns. Jack smiled at Lily. "See? It trusts us. It's showing us more every time we interact with it." Lily nodded. "I hope no one else finds it before we understand it. We could be the only humans who can control this ship." Jack looked out at the desert through a small viewport. The sands stretched endlessly, empty and quiet.
"Then we have to make sure of it."
We protect it, learn from it, and maybe change the future for humans. The night fell over the desert, but the glow of the ship lit the darkness like a beacon. Jack and Lily sat in the cockpit, studying the holograms and symbols. They were learning, adapting, and becoming part of something much bigger than themselves, something that had waited 117 years for humans to awaken it. Jack smiled. "Tomorrow we go further, we learn more, and maybe we find out why this ship was left here, alone in the desert, waiting for us." Lily nodded, her eyes reflecting the glow. "And we survive? That's the first step?" The ship hummed softly around them, a constant presence, alive and aware. Jack and Lily were no longer just explorers. They were students, pilots, and guardians of an alien starship that had slept for over a century. And in the desert under the stars, a human mechanic and his friend had begun a journey that could change everything for humanity. The next morning, the desert sun rose bright and hot, but inside the alien ship, the glow from the panels kept the cockpit cool. Jack Morrison and Lily Harper were already awake, working together to understand the ship's systems. Overnight, they had learned how to power the engines partially and navigate through the holographic star maps. Every symbol, every touch, made the ship respond faster. It was learning them as much as they were learning it. "This is amazing," Jack said, running his fingers across a control panel that had just activated. "It's like it's alive."
It reacts to what we do, but also thinks ahead.
Lily studied the readouts. "I know. But I'm still worried. We have no idea who or what might come looking for this ship. We can't keep it a secret forever." "I know. But for now, we focus on learning it. That's the best way to protect it." They moved through the corridors, examining more rooms. Some held strange machinery that seemed to repair itself. Others had compartments with devices that glowed when they touched them. Jack realized the ship was teaching them in steps, first the basics, then more advanced systems. He could feel the ship's intelligence testing him. Suddenly, a panel on the far wall lit up with a new symbol. Jack touched it instinctively. The ship vibrated, lights pulsing across the floor. Holographic images appeared, showing a group of humans approaching the desert from the north. Jack squinted. "Lily. Huh. Lily." "Someone's coming," he said. She moved beside him quickly. "Ah, ah, 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 ah. Are they explorers, scientists, or trouble?" Jack frowned. "I don't know, but we need to find out." Quickly, a hologram zoomed in, showing a small team of humans, armed and moving with purpose. Their leader appeared clearly on the display, a tall man with short brown hair and a confident, dangerous look. Jack didn't know the name yet, but he could feel the threat. This was not a friendly team. "They want the ship," Lily said, her voice tense. "They're not here to explore. They're here to take it." Jack clenched his jaw. "Then we have to be ready. This ship, bye. It reacts to humans in a special way. If we think fast, we can use that to our advantage." Lily nodded. "I hope so, but we need a plan. We can't just fight them head on."
They'll have weapons. Jack thought for a moment, scanning the cockpit's displays.
"The ship can help us. It's been dormant for 117 years, and now it's awake. It wants us to solve problems. That's what humans do best. We need to use our brains, not just guns." Lily agreed. "Then let's start. We need to control the ship's systems completely before they get here. We can set traps, slow them down, and maybe even scare them off without fighting." Jack smiled. "Exactly. Humans think creatively. That's what makes us special."
Let's show them. For the next few hours, Jack and Lily worked quickly.
Jack focused on the ship's engines and propulsion systems. He learned how to partially power the ship, how to move it slightly without leaving the desert. Lily concentrated on the security systems, energy barriers, alarm triggers, and holographic decoys. They combined their skills, testing ideas, failing, and trying again. The ship responded, adapting to their thinking. Jack leaned back, wiping sweat from his brow. "I think we're ready. The ship trusts us now. We just need to wait for them to come close." Outside, the desert shimmered in the heat. Dust rose in the distance. Jack and Lily watched through a viewport. Soon they could see the group approaching, moving carefully, scanning the sands. Their leader's voice carried over a small speaker, but the words were not clear through the distance. Jack could tell they were confident, maybe too confident. "They think they can just take it," Jack said. They don't know humans can be clever. They don't understand that some problems require thinking, not force. Lily nodded. Then let's make sure they learn that lesson. When the humans reached the outer edge of the sand dunes, Jack activated the ship's first defensive measure. Energy fields shimmered over the entrances to the ship. The intruders froze, confused by the sudden barrier. Holographic lights flickered, projecting illusions of additional defenses across the dunes. "What is this?" one of the intruders shouted.
They're panicking, Lily whispered. They don't know what the ship is doing.
"That's good. Keep them guessing." Jack smiled. "Exactly. Humans are...
Let's see what else it can do. They moved through the cockpit, triggering panels that created subtle vibrations across the desert.
Sand shifted in patterns, making it appear like the ship was moving, even though it wasn't. The intruders hesitated, unsure which way to approach. Jack and Lily stayed calm, using the ship's systems to manipulate the environment. Suddenly, a small alarm sounded. Jack's eyes widened. They're trying to bypass the barriers.
We need to act fast. Lily tapped a few symbols on a control panel.
Energy pulses ran across the ground, forming invisible walls that forced the intruders to change direction. "We're not attacking them," she said. "We're just slowing them down." Jack nodded. "Exactly."
Humans don't always fight directly. Sometimes the best way to win is with your mind.
As the intruders approached the ship again, the cockpit hummed louder. Symbols on the panels shifted, showing possible outcomes of each move. Jack realized the ship was teaching them strategy, giving them a chance to outthink the humans outside. "Look," Jack said, pointing to a display. "The ship is showing us patterns. It wants us to plan carefully. Watch how they move, then react. It's testing us. Then let's pass the test."
We can do this, Jack. We just have to stay focused.
The intruders moved closer, and Jack activated another system. Lights flashed across the desert, creating illusions of multiple ships rising from the sand. The humans froze again, unsure which was real. Jack and Lily watched as the intruders hesitated, arguing among themselves. "They don't understand," Jack said quietly. "They think force will win. But humans, we think. We adapt. And this ship recognizes that? It's like it's helping us fight without fighting, using our brains as the weapon." Hours passed as Jack and Lily used the ship's systems to control the environment. They learned how to predict the intruders' moves, how to manipulate the desert terrain, and how to use the ship's energy fields to create barriers and illusions. Each success built their confidence and strengthened their bond with the ship. Finally, the leader of the intruders, a man named Ethan Cole, realized they could not reach the ship. Frustration grew on his face. "This isn't just a machine," he shouted. "It's alive. It's working against us." Jack laughed quietly. "See? They don't understand humans. We think, we create, we adapt. That's what makes us special. And this ship, it sees that too."
We're proving ourselves. The ship trusts humans, and it's showing us how to protect it.
As night fell over the desert, the intruders retreated. Jack and Lily remained in the cockpit, exhausted but exhilarated. They had faced their first real threat and survived, not by force, but by intelligence, creativity, and careful thinking. Jack leaned back in his seat, smiling. "We did it. We protected the ship. And we learned something too. Humans are clever." We can solve problems others can't. That's why the ship chose us. Lily sat beside him, and now we know the risks. There may be others who come, but we're ready. We've proven we can think faster, act smarter, and survive. Jack nodded. Exactly. Humans are special. We can do what others cannot. And this ship, it will teach us more. We just have to keep learning, keep thinking, and stay clever. For the rest of the night, they studied the ship's systems, practicing and experimenting. Jack discovered new ways to power the engines, moving the ship slightly above the desert floor without leaving a trace. Lily learned to manipulate the energy barriers, creating decoys and false signals. They realized that the ship was not only a machine, but also a teacher, guiding them, testing them, and showing the potential of human ingenuity. The desert wind blew outside, but inside the ship, it was calm and bright. Jack and Lily knew they were part of something extraordinary. They had awakened a starship that had slept for 117 years, faced an intelligent human threat, and proved that humans could think and adapt in ways no one else could. Jack smiled at Lily. Tomorrow we push further. We explore more. And maybe we unlock more secrets of this ship. Secrets humans weren't meant to see until now. Lily nodded, her eyes reflecting the glowing symbols around them. And we'll survive. That's the first step. Then we learn. Then we protect. The ship hummed around them, alive and aware, recognizing their courage, creativity, and intelligence. Jack and Lily were no longer just explorers. They were pilots, students, and guardians of a vessel that had waited more than a century for humans to awaken it. And now, as the desert night settled outside, the real journey was beginning. The next morning, the desert was quiet. The sun rose slowly, painting the sand with warm colors. Jack Morrison and Lily Harper were already awake, ready to continue their work with the alien ship. The events of the previous day had shown them how powerful the ship was and how it could react to humans in unique ways. But they also knew the risks. Others might come to take the ship, and they had to be prepared. Jack ran his hands over the cockpit panels. The symbols glowed in response, shifting and pulsing with energy. "It's waiting for us," he said. "I think it wants us to do more than just survive. It wants us to understand it fully." Lily nodded, her eyes scanning the displays. "We need to unlock its systems completely. That means we have to be patient, careful, and smart. The ship will respond to humans who can think creatively. That's why it chose us." "Then let's get started." They began by testing the propulsion systems. Slowly, Jack powered up the engines. The ship hummed and vibrated, responding to his touch. Holographic displays showed energy flow through the engines, the fuel systems, and the navigation controls. It was complex, unlike anything humans had built, but Jack's instincts guided him. "I think I can make it move slightly above the desert floor," Jack said. "Not far, just enough to test the engines and systems. I'll monitor energy outputs and shields. If anything goes wrong, we can shut it down immediately." Jack activated the engines. The ship lifted slowly, hovering a few meters above the sand. Light reflected off the smooth hull, making the ship appear alive. Symbols on the panels pulsed faster, as if the ship was pleased. "It's working," Jack said, excitement in his voice. "It's really working." Lily smiled, but her eyes were cautious. "We have to be careful. If anyone sees this, they might come running. And this ship, it's too powerful for anyone to misuse." Jack nodded. "I know. That's why we need to understand it completely before anyone else arrives. We're the only humans it can trust. As they explored further, Jack discovered a control panel that seemed to connect all the ship's systems. Touching it caused a holographic map to expand above the cockpit. Stars, planets, and strange symbols filled the air. Energy flows and potential routes for travel were displayed in glowing lines. Lily leaned closer. This is incredible. We could explore parts of the galaxy humans have never reached. The ship could take us anywhere. Jack's eyes shone. And it's showing us how. It's teaching us step by step. We just have to follow and learn. Hours passed as they studied the ship's systems. They discovered compartments filled with alien devices, strange engines, and tools that reacted to human touch. Each discovery made the ship respond more. It was like the ship was alive, but it also seemed to be learning from them, adjusting to their methods and decisions. Suddenly, a new symbol appeared on one of the panels. It pulsed brightly, signaling a warning. Jack touched it. The holographic map shifted to show a small fleet of ships approaching from the far side of the desert. "They're coming," Jack said, his voice calm but tense. "More humans, probably mercenaries or treasure hunters. They want the ship. We need to act fast. We can't let them reach us, but we also can't fight them directly. We need to use the ship to outsmart them." Jack nodded. "Then let's do it." Humans are creative. That's what makes us different. We'll use our minds, not just force. They activated the ship's defense systems. Energy fields rose around the ship, invisible barriers that forced the approaching fleet to change course. Holographic decoys projected multiple images of the ship across the desert. The intruders hesitated, unsure which way to move. "They don't understand," Lily said quietly. "They think force will win, but humans, we think. We adapt, and the ship helps us do that." Jack smiled. "Exactly. That's why it chose us. It recognizes human ingenuity." The intruders tried to bypass the energy barriers. Jack and Lily used the ship's systems to manipulate the desert terrain. Sand shifted, creating false paths and obstacles. The intruders became confused, arguing among themselves. Jack and Lily stayed calm, reacting quickly to every move. The ship pulsed with energy, almost like it was guiding their decisions. Hours passed as they outsmarted the intruders. Every time the humans tried to approach, Jack and Lily used their creativity and the ship's systems to block them. Finally, the intruders realized they could not reach the ship. Frustration and fear were visible in their movements.
"They're giving up," Lily whispered. "For now, at least."
Jack nodded. "That's good. But we can't relax. We need to understand the ship fully before anyone else comes." They continued exploring the ship, discovering more about its engines, weapons, and defensive systems. Jack realized the ship could repair itself, generate energy, and even navigate space faster than any human ship. Lily studied the holographic maps, learning routes to distant star systems. Together, they began to understand the full potential of the vessel. "This ship is more than just a machine," Jack said. "It's a tool, a library, and a weapon. And it wants humans to use it wisely. And it teaches us by testing us. That's why we survived the intruders. The ship trusted us to think creatively and act carefully." Jack smiled. "Humans are special. We can do what others cannot. And now we have the chance to show it." They spent the next several hours perfecting their control of the ship. Jack learned to maneuver it smoothly above the desert. Lily adjusted the shields and energy systems, creating a safe environment for them to explore and experiment. The ship responded instantly, adapting to every touch and decision. Suddenly, a panel lit up, showing an alien figure in the hologram. The figure was tall and thin, with glowing eyes and long limbs. It moved across alien landscapes, operating advanced technology. The images suggested that this was the ship's creator, watching, testing, and guiding. Lily whispered, "This is incredible. The ship was built by an advanced species. They left it here waiting for someone like us to find it. And now we've proven ourselves. We've survived, adapted, and learned. The ship trusts us completely." As they worked, Jack realized that the ship could amplify human creativity and problem-solving. Systems that would confuse any alien or machine were simple for them because they could think outside the rules. The ship responded to intuition, imagination, and careful reasoning, the very things that made humans unique.
"This is why the ship waited for us," Jack said.
Humans are special. We can solve problems no one else can. That's what makes us worthy of controlling it. Lily smiled. And we have to use that wisely. We can explore, learn, and protect this ship.
But we can't let anyone misuse it. Jack nodded.
Exactly. That's our responsibility now.
Humans have the chance to show that we can handle power responsibly. And this ship, it's the proof. The desert night fell, but the ship glowed brightly, lighting the cockpit and the chambers around them. Jack and Lily sat in the control room, reviewing everything they had learned. They had unlocked engines, shields, and navigation. They had outsmarted intruders. They had proven that humans could think creatively, adapt, and survive. Jack looked at Lily. "Tomorrow, we go further. We'll explore space with this ship, discover secrets, and show the universe what humans can do." Lily nodded. "And we'll survive. That's the first step. Then we learn. Then we protect. Then we explore." The ship hummed around them, alive and aware. It recognized their courage, intelligence, and creativity. Jack and Lily were no longer just explorers. They were pilots, students, and guardians of a vessel that had waited for humans for 117 years. As the stars appeared in the desert sky, the ship lifted slightly, responding to Jack's careful commands. The glow reflected across the sand, like a second sunrise. The adventure that had begun with a single touch now had the potential to change everything for humanity. Jack smiled. "We did it, Lily. We've proven ourselves. Humans are special. And this ship, it's ours to understand, to protect, and to use wisely." Lily smiled back, her eyes shining with excitement. "And we will." Together, the desert was quiet, but inside the ship, light and energy pulsed steadily. Jack and Lily had awakened a starship that had slept for over a century. They had faced threats, solved impossible problems, and unlocked a power no one else could control. And now, for the first time in 117 years, the ship was ready to fly, guided by humans, and the galaxy would never be the same.